Really good first 3 days. We've gotten some really good heat acclimatization. The first 2 days were just in helmets and spider pads, which is the rule. Today we're in shells, which is helmet, shoulder pads, and thigh boards. So I was really impressed with today, the physicality on both sides of the ball. There's some great plays on both sides. Got our team run period going, did some 9-on-9. Had some normal down work, and then finished with a 2-minute drive where at the end of a half where the blue offense went down and got a field goal, and then the white offense was stopped by the defense and finished with a punt at the end of the half. So, but all in all, good work, really good work. I think we've shown the ability to retain information, to take the install from the summer and really grow on that. Today was a heavier install on both sides of the ball, so we were getting some more variety. The first 2 days, a little bit like JV offense, just getting back in the flow. But today was some good work, good competition going on, guys flying around. So not all the way up to speed on like the shape of our team, but that's why you practice. You got to practice football to get in the game shape. But some really good work. So, go ahead.
This early, can you tell if there are guys who made a big jump from spring to now that you thought they would make over the course?
Yeah, for sure. I think especially defensively, like you see some of these young corners, these young backers, really make a jump. It's sometimes offense can be ahead in certain spots because one guy makes a play here or there. Defense, especially how we play on offense with a lot of shifts, movements, different personnels, different tempos, it can create some stress on a defense. So, but all the work in the summer, really leading up to this point, all the walkthroughs we do during fall camp, you've seen those young guys on the defense side of the ball really do a really good job of communicating, and felt like today and even the first 3 days that we're more comfortable in our pattern matches and just our backer and safety fits.
Well, what did you guys see from Antonio?
AOB is a really good pass rusher. He's had, I think, the top speed at the edge group the past 2 days. So really impressive person overall, and excited about his opportunity with us.
Well, what's something you believed in your team that you've already had to kind of reconsider?
Something I've believed in my team that I've had to reconsider?
Yeah. After a couple of practices in the fall, you look at them and say, hey, they might be better than they are, or here's something we need to work
Yeah, I don't. It's like I've said a million times, like I'll really know how good we are when we tee it off on September 5th. And so I like our progress. I like our ability to learn in the morning, walk it, take a break, come back, meet again, go out and practice, and then go execute. So I think it's still a little early. I think next week we're going to get back in a rhythm where we're going to go Monday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon off, and then we'll go Friday morning, and then Saturday play our scrimmage at the same time as our first game. So I think when we really play ball in the first scrimmage, I'll have probably a better answer for you.
The fans are ready. What do you think of all the tailgate setups?
Oh, it was great. Unbelievable, to be honest. So I held a baby today, a little 7-week-old, named Merrick, I believe was her name. Beautiful little girl. And so it was awesome. Like I've said, BBN is unreal. And to show up like they did today and just to be that supportive of us is really cool.
Well, how did you get connected with Callum Wither? And have you been scouting Canadian football a lot recently?
Not necessarily. We do our due diligence. We have a whole group of interns and player personnel people that just scour the internet for players. It's pretty impressive how they can find all these people. And so he was brought to our attention, and he became available late, and so we thought he was a great addition.
Is it the operation so far? The first 3 days of practice is probably drinking from a fire hose for some kids. So how smooth, how clean has it been, or clunky?
I would say it's been pretty smooth. It's a lot of our setup was like spring, so I'm able to show film from spring and be like, hey, this is how it goes. We'll walk it in the indoor in the mornings in terms of a new drill before we go out there and do it. The biggest operational challenge was the first day out on the grass, because day one we had to go inside like you guys saw which was not planned. We had to adapt and go in, so it kind of shrunk the field. There's not a lot of transitions between fields. And then we went out yesterday, so I just think like the two fields and defense running from one to the other, offense the other, the transitions are a little bit longer. That's where it can kind of get bogged down. But I thought the guys responded really well today. That's what I was most proud of, and it's something that we emphasized and felt that today.
A lot of discussion this summer about the running back room and building there. One guy we haven't heard too much about is Tamani.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, is he back at full health?
He is, yeah. He's been impressive. You know, he was a highly recruited player. Got injured in high school senior year, but he's been out there and rolling. I mean, like, at some point you got to go out there and play, you know? And so we've pushed all those kids, and Tavani's had a, strong showing in the first 3 days. Shoot, Jason Patterson today looked the best I've seen him. I was very happy to see him run like that, just like run hard and not pitter-patter your feet in the hole, like hit it. Some of the young guys, I mean, the more competition you can get, Martell's looked good today. The more competition, it just brings the best out of people. So that was exciting to see the backs, and the credit to, honestly, Colby. Colby's getting those guys going.
If I could do a follow-up.
Sure.
Jason. His body looks a little bit different to me. Is he kind of transformed during the offseason?
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, he's put on really quality weight, and I think just like anything, the more comfortable you get in a scheme, the better you become. Like, we get a lot of reps, so now it's just like the 1,000 rep rule. He's at about rep probably 700. So another 300 reps over the next 3 weeks, and I think he's going to be a guy that can go out there and perform for us.
Well, we've talked a lot about how the timing of signing day was kind of awkward for you guys. You got hired the day before. But among that group you inherited in that class, as you've gotten to know them better, have you identified guys that they can help us early right away or help us?
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned that the wideout room was there's some impressive kids in there. You don't really know, but Denarius Gray's done a really good job. Prince Jean has done a really good job. Deuce has been playing better. He's a little out of control when he first got here and was trying to learn how to catch a football, but now it's like, okay, he's gotten better. So yeah, I mean, I think all those kids, there's been some pleasant surprises. It's always tough when you only sign 10. You want to have O-line, D-line depth, but it is what it is, and those kids have bought in. And what I've been proud of is, like, they're not worried about the past or who might have wanted to sign them. Like, they're here, and they've really been a great additions to our team.
Speaking of the freshmen, what are you seeing from the Prime Toss?
The guy just knows how to play quarterback, like, that's what I like about Matt. It's like stuff that you don't have to teach. Yeah, I mean, he's an impressive player for sure. So he's still learning and growing and understanding how to practice at this level. That's what he missed out on the spring, but some guys just kind of got it, and he's not a finished product by any means, but you can see traits of somebody that just has good awareness in the pocket, can throw it on time, and just finds completion. So been pleased with him so far. He's still in a battle. He's still got to grow and get better and keep changing his body. He took off on a run today, and I was like, yeah, that's why they moved you the pitcher, dude. I mean, dang, you gotta trim up a little bit and get some speed work going. But yeah, he's just a ball player. He's a great kid, great family too.
Well, on media day, you give us a list of players who are going to miss the start of fall camp. Obviously, that can be difficult for any athlete, just mentally getting back into things. But what have you noticed out of those guys in the way they're still sticking with things, making sure they're not missing anything?
Yeah, well, we got walkthroughs in the mornings where they're full participation and all that. It's just really the full speed element. But some of the guys are available in Indy as well. Like, CJ gets every rep in a walkthrough. He gets a lot of Indy work too. Vontae's still not completely there to be full go in Indy, but he gets walkthrough reps. Nick is getting every walkthrough rep. Same with Tegra, all those guys. I mean, Sam Green, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, he's out there, he's working, he's practicing. So those guys are pushing to get back. And football is a dangerous game. There's a lot of injuries. It's part of it, but I'm, been impressed with their resolve, and they haven't been dealt the best cards currently, but I do know that they're working to get back, and I'm expecting most of them to be fully available once we start this thing off.
Well, we hear a lot of coaches talk about their players learning from their mistakes. I guess that applies to coaches also. As a first-year coach, do you find yourself maybe a little bit more leery about not making a mistake? Is there one mistake that you told yourself that you promised you're not going to make?
Not really. I mean, I don't really think about it like that. I just really try to trust our process, trust our coaches, trust, the opinions of Pete Nocta, Josh Pruitt, Jay Bateman, Joe Sloan, Parker Fleming, the guys that are in these higher roles where I can go to Jay and say, hey, how did Elko handle this at A&M? What was the practice schedule? Or, hey, Joe, what would Skip Holtz do here? Or I'll call Dan and just use those guys because they're very knowledgeable, they're very smart, they're high character, they have really great opinions on things. And I just use my people. So we've already adjusted, not because of anything besides I want Mondays and Fridays to be really good and have a longer break in between practices. Like Monday was supposed to be an afternoon practice, right? I changed it to Monday morning, walk in the afternoon, so we can have a longer break between Monday morning and then Tuesday in the heat. Then we'll go Wednesday in the heat, and then we'll have Thursday off, and then Friday will be morning, and then Saturday will be afternoon. So I'm trying to give longer breaks in between practices. So that's something that I don't want to say fear or worry, but just like what I'm focused on is doing what's best for the team and not one individual. I think that's where you get kind of caught. Hey, one guy's a little bang, one guy's a little like, what's best for the team? We got to go work. We got to go get reps. We got to like run our plays. We got to trust our systems. And so that's the biggest focus is like daily improvement, daily growth. I tell it to the guys all the time, we got to go to the doctor after the games. Same with coaches. I'm going to the doctor every single day. What can I do? What did I do poorly? What can I do better? What critical mistakes did I make today that I can fix? And then move forward and not think about the past, but literally be totally present.
You talked about some of their young running backs earlier. How do you evaluate those guys when so much of their job is breaking tackles and you're not doing that?
Totally. Well, like today's thud. Like if you were out there, like thud is everything besides tackling to the ground. And so, like, if it's not getting hit and wrapped up, we're not blowing the whistle. And so I think you can see that. It's not perfect, but that's why the two scrimmages will have longer live periods than I even did in the spring. Because you, like you said, you got to tackle. The backs don't only have to make people miss, but guys have to tackle on the other side of the ball. But thud is everything up until bringing to the ground. And I think that's the best way. It's not perfect, but that's how you got to do it.
Well, you've repeatedly said you won't know anything about the team unless you see it up on the field, but at least from what you've seen from spring to now, how good do you think the offensive line should end up being?
I think the O-line, like I've mentioned, I feel like they have a really good opportunity to be one of the best in the conference, if not the country. I mean, based on the skill sets, the production, the amount of games they've played, they're a veteran group. I mean, they're not young. They have a lot of starts to them. They've played in big-time games. So they definitely have that opportunity. They just got to continue to gel and get better together. But that's why I didn't, mix and match teams right here in fall camp because I know, like, those guys are D-line. And we got to start working with quote-unquote ones and really work those immediate backups in as well with those guys just so we can get some continuity.